The digital information space is one of the most passive income strategies to date. Real estate is also one of the most passive income strategies to date.
Attention coaches, consultants, course creators. If you get paid based off your knowledge, I'm going to tell you something very, very important, okay? What if I could teach you how to make extra 5 to 6 figures every single month using simple Facebook and Instagram ads, all right? Let me tell you about my boy. He got the paid ad playbook. Listen, this paid ad playbook is going to give it to you for free, first off. Marquel Russell, one of the most genuine people I've ever met, he's created over $500 million in client revenue using the paid ad playbook strategy, all right? So listen, go to socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. If you want to get 50 to 100 new client leads every day that actually convert, you need to go to socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. And he's going to give you a bonus video that helps you with a strategy to customize your particular strategy for your particular business. All right, again, socialproofgift.com, text proof to 904-447-5274. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We're here, me and Donni are back to give you the greatest insight on entrepreneurship. Small business entrepreneurs, if you are listening, we're here for you. We have the Brain Picker Podcast, which is going really, really well.
It is going incredibly
well.
Y'all
listen to the Brain Picker Podcast? Y'all see that?
You guys know anything about the Brain Picker Podcast? Oh my God, it's our new series.
It's extremely lit. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Can we introduce ourselves and talk about our week first? Or you just want to get straight to the Brain Picker Podcast?
Clearly, whatever you want to talk about, right? Let's talk about Brain Picker Podcast, then we'll introduce ourselves, because this is amazing.
All right. Brain Picker Podcast. So, David and I decided, David has not done one-on-one business coaching, right? Since, I don't know, forever.
Yeah. Wow.
And he has been encouraging me this year to eliminate one-on-one business coaching from my model. And we decided that would be the case, and we were going to come up with some other things to do.
Say something, you know what's cool about that? So in her model last year, she made 7 figures, had the best year she's ever had, and she's going away from it. That takes faith.
That does.
That's great.
Yes, we are absolutely faithing
having
it.
The best year you've ever had, and then you say, I'm not going to do what I did to have the best year I've ever had. I'm just going to
figure it out along the way. And cool. We are
commend you for that.
Quadrupling the result this year.
Absolutely.
We don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Anyway, so I went for it. You know, I've known that I wanted to get out of one-on-one coaching for a while. And then David kind of put the pressure on. So we did that, right? But I said, David wants to still be able to offer entrepreneurs an opportunity to be coached, and one-on-one coaching I've always maintained is a serious passion for me. Like, I absolutely love helping entrepreneurs on a one-on-one basis. And the Brain Picker Podcast was born. Mm-hmm. And this is a platform where you literally get to pick our brains just about your business. It's not about anybody else's business or situation. You get to come on live in real time. We broadcast this one live on YouTube, and you get to come in real time and pick our brains about anything that you want about your business. And we filmed like 4 or 5 episodes at this point.
I think maybe 5.
5, episodes. And you get to spend like an hour and a half with us, depending on the complexity of your business model. And we have so far been able to really pick these businesses apart in a very respectful way. And when I say pick it apart, I mean analyze it from a very high level perspective, right? And there have been people who have gained in followers. There's been people who have gained in money. They've all made money.
All of them have
They've all made money.
All of them made
All of them have made money. All of them I haven't followed up with the most recent one yet, but all of them have made money. All of them have gained followers. All of them, like, you have live comments happening in real time, which is so dope too. You don't wait for after the podcast. Like, you're in your episode and you have these live comments coming in from the audience. And that helps to drive questions that you may not even have thought you had. And you can ask these questions, but you got built-in people who are either ready to share your brand, buy from your brand, or invest in your brand right there in an hour and a half. It's genius.
Absolutely. Have you ever seen like a coaching session? You ever seen imagine you have a one-on-one coaching session, but the session is one-on-one, but everybody gets to hear it. Have you ever heard a one-on-one coaching session where a coach is coaching somebody else? Watch the Brain Picker podcast. It's really cool because it's like Q&A. We're digging into the person's business, and you as an entrepreneur, you can like kind of see and pull some of the advice that somebody else paid for. I was just about to ask you to bring that down.
It was too much height up here. I was looking at that.
I was going to say so. I was actually going to weave it into the conversation. I was going to be like, so if I was coaching Joe, I'd say one of the things you should do is probably bring my camera down so it's not as much dead space in the top. You're doing real good, Joe.
I'm just wondering what you do with all the extra time that you have when you get here early in the morning.
Anyway, but here's the moral of the story though. For me personally, right? And Donni has always adopted this as well. But for right now, I am laser focused on everything I do has to involve community.
Yeah.
If I'm giving someone a coaching session, that's me helping another person and it doesn't help anybody else.
Yeah.
But the fact that we can do it on a public platform and everybody else gets to see it and they say, yo, the last one was like, yo, I don't even think the session was for him. I think the session was for us.
Yeah.
That is community stuff.
Yeah.
Community.
And you know what's crazy or what's interesting is in the comments, I see people commenting all the time, the Black Shark Tank, the Black Shark Tank. And we're not even that. It's not that. On Shark Tank, you are going for an investment, right? Sure. And you either get the investment or you don't. Here, you don't get coaching there, though. Here, we are literally changing your potential outcome, investment or not,
for sure,
into your business, coaching you in real time. And you just might also qualify for an investment.
That's a fact. And we've done some good ones, right? And I'm like, yo, that would be dope to invest in. But I didn't have one yet that that made me feel something where I'm like, I can't sleep and I really, really want to invest in. They're all all
dope.
Like they're all amazing. And at the conversation, we're like, yo, Donni, we should invest in that.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm looking for that one where after the session's over, a week later, I'm like, yo, why?
We can't stop talking about it.
We really need to help this person.
We've had a few like that, not on the Brain Picker podcast, but we need to close the loop on a couple of opportunities that we said we wanted to move forward with.
Yo, we have the same habit I think other entrepreneurs have. We just got all these concepts and so all these amazing things that we can do, but we gotta execute it. But what's the line between executing on amazing ideas and being focused on the main goal?
Yeah.
There's gotta be a balance.
There is a balance, but I believe, so for me, like that idea that's going to keep us up for a week talking about it is an idea that's going to naturally integrate into what we already have going on, right?
I agree.
So I personally can't fathom making an investment today in a concept that's so far off. Digital retail space, community, memberships, e-commerce, we're all over that kind of stuff, right? But if you wanted to build the new tractor trailer for construction use, I don't know if I have the capacity to do that right now. But I am excited. I am eager. So I have carried this goal that has been unfulfilled for the last 2 years, and I would like to fulfill it this year. And I believe that through the Brain Picker podcast, we're going to be able to do that. I have had a goal to have to have equitable partnerships in 10 businesses independent of mine.
But what does that look like? Is it I am investing for a return? Am I investing and coaching 10 different entrepreneurs in their business? Or what does that look like?
So I don't, it could be, I don't know. It depends on the business model, right? And it's that, does this speak to me kind of deal? Like I want to feel the purpose and the mission behind it. I want to see where you're going. Some of those people may need a little bit of coaching, right? Like we like Cultured Slime.
Yep.
Culture Crown. She needs some coaching.
Crown culture.
Crown culture.
Crown, first off.
She has an incredibly dope brand. The quality of her product is insane. Crowned
Where
University.
Where do you get culture from?
Crown University.
It's Crown Me Collections.
Crown Me Collections, but that says Crown University.
But where do you get culture from?
I don't know. You got it too, okay? Culture Crown. Anyway, she needs just a little bit of coaching that will take her business to the next level, but she already has a super dope product. She's already sourced the best vendors.
She's sending us packages.
She's sending us packages, so she is on it. Like, all I have to do is like a photo, and she will DM and be like, your packages are on the way. And that's literally what happened. But what I'd like to be able to do, and part of it is also about our infrastructure that we have going on.
For sure.
So in my mind, the type of businesses that we seem to be presented right now, they either need our resources, whether that be community or team, they need our resources. And those are likely, I would like to facilitate the resources that they need to like really blow up. I want to see that you have something going on. I want to see that you're committed to this. You're doing the work. You're in there, like you're sold out for your brand. But my resources and your resources combined can take it to the next level.
100%. 100%. Joe, is that the carpet people? No? Okay, cool. We're waiting on carpet to be delivered at the new space.
Oh, so nice. Cool. What is this carpet? Those are rugs?
Those are rugs, yeah. We just had Social Proof 7. It looked really, really nice.
Oh, that's what that was for.
Yeah, that joint's fire. I'll show you the set. Let me show you the set real quick.
Yeah, show me the set. I'm looking at that one to the left as if it's possible it might match my home decor.
You're not having it. What's up with you?
It might.
But yeah, so that's the Brain Picker Podcast. Also, this is my new philosophy. It came out this year. I don't want to do anything that doesn't pay me twice.
Fact.
I don't want to do anything that doesn't pay me twice. So if I do a coaching session, it's me and the person. I do it, they pay me, it only pays me once.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're doing the Brain Picker Podcast, obviously there's an investment up front, but there's so many different ways that we'll get paid from that particular effort.
Mm-hmm.
That one podcast gets other people to purchase the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Other people that follow, other people that support the other stuff that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not involving community and it doesn't pay me twice, I'm not going to do it.
There are a couple of checks that can be cut to me once.
Tell me about it.
Everybody has a price.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I just did one. I did a speaking gig for Car Gurus, right?
Yeah.
It was a 5-figure gig.
Everybody has a price.
Right. But it was 45 minutes. I had like basketball. I had basketball shorts on and a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, so I did do it. Yes, there are caveats.
There are a couple of situations. I'm just putting that out there in case you're a sponsor and you're looking for a black woman.
But here's the thing. I'm not promoting myself as a speaker.
Right.
They reached out and said, y'all got this opportunity, of course, right? But I'm not promoting myself as this speaker that I go speak and you pay me for the services, meaning there's a certain amount of time that you're paying me for.
Mm-hmm.
I just really, really enjoy the model of I do something one time and that one thing pays me. Not even, like, 'cause you could have a coaching model where they pay over and over, but let's say you have you do a coaching session once a week and they pay, let's say we at $10,000. It's still $2,500 per session, right? I'm not going to take a speaking gig for $2,500. You know what I mean? So, and I have, get the 10,000 recurring every month, I have to do the 4 or I have to do 5, whatever it's going to be. You feel me? So, I'm just in that space, but some people really can't take that model right now. But I've worked really, really hard for that. You know what I mean? I have a t-shirt printed. I sell the t-shirt and it's really good money. You can make some money that way. You're a barber. I know some barbers that make really, really good money, but that activity only pays you once. So I'm not building a business model around that.
Right. Or figure out how what you're doing can pay you in multiple ways. I've never had a speaking engagement that only paid me one time.
Really?
Never. Never. I am always picking up from their community and making sales on the back end. And the majority of the things that I offer have some type of a recurring revenue model attached to it, with the exception of my 6-figure accelerator course. But even those students need one of my recurring revenue models.
Right. But the business model isn't, let me be a speaker and say, hey, pay me.
No,
right?
That's not the business model.
So the speaking gig, you'll take the money, but that is a part of, there's a part of the business model that keeps the business model running. A. Donahue Baker said something that was so clutch at the Social Proof 7. Was anybody at Social Proof 7? Is there this past Sunday? Y'all didn't come? Y'all wasn't with it? Y'all don't be feeling? Well, I know it sells out really quick. It sold out like in 20 minutes. But he said something to me. And, well, he didn't say it to me. He said it, but he said it to me. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't talking to me,
but it was for you.
Yeah, it was for me. So he has over 400 units. It's like 400 or 500 rental properties around the country. Imagine that. 500 properties. So there's wealth in, obviously, all 500 of these, but every single month it's recurring. And he said...
Do you know his average rent?
You're in his pockets, ain't you?
I am.
So this is what he said, but this is key. This is key. And he let me know that I have a whole lot of work to do as an entrepreneur. He said, I can take off a whole year and come back and my income will be exactly the same. He said, I can take off an entire year, come back, and my income will be exactly the same. I started to think to myself, can I take off a whole year and my income be exactly the same? And the answer is no.
Absolutely not. Unequivocally no.
That's crazy, ain't it?
We talked about this. So this kind of brings me back to that episode where we talked about being able, having the ability to afford to be sick. I can afford to be sick, like, short term. And I'm talking about just something light, dealing with nothing major. I can afford to be away from my business. I think at that time I was away for about a month and everything still moved. But can we be away for 6 months?
I think we can maybe be away for a year and be okay, but the income will drop significantly.
Oh, it's going to drop significantly.
I was actually talking to my friend yesterday, and his business is not based on his performing. So for instance, he told me he made less than me last year, but his systems are so intact that he doesn't have to do anything. The marketing is marketing. The call comes in, the salespeople are selling the stuff. The people that are handling the sales and fulfilling are fulfilling, and he doesn't have to do anything. And I think that speaks to a strong foundation to where you can go out and make a bunch of money because you have the activity. But for me, that statement just changed my life. I said, how can I create some income that if you remove me from the picture, I can leave and come back and it's the exact same. Even we have recurring business models, but if I leave, it drops.
Systems. So you find that one thing that has a strong lifetime value, meaning people are going to need this for a long period of time. People will need this for sure in a year. And you put people and systems in place around it. You delegate significantly to someone who can manage the business, and you go and disappear and nothing changes in your income.
That's a fact. I got a little bit of it. So I have 3 units in Louisiana. So Terica set up the deal, structured the deal. I have the property. I know how much I pay every month. And we have tenants that come in every month. But I've never seen the property. I don't even read the contracts or anything like that. Because Terica's property, it's a high level of trust.
Yeah.
Terica's property management company manages the property. All they do is send me an invoice or something's broken or whatever. But pretty much every month, we're going to get that mailbox money. We're going to get the rents paid. And this is the first time, this past Sunday, honestly, this is the first time I really started to understand the power of acquiring real estate.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause as a digital entrepreneur in a brand or whatever, you think, why would I spend $100,000 to get a property to make $1,000 a month?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense to me. Why don't we just take the 100, put it in some ads, do something special? We can flip the 100,000. But actually, the $1,000 a month in rent is way more powerful than going to make $10,000, $20,000 that you have to actively go make. It's just like this year, I'm just like laying a foundation, man.
Passive cash flow.
That joint was crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine your passive income being more than your active income. Listen, as you know, I am in Nehemiah Davis's inner circle. I talk about him all the time. Last year, I had the biggest year financially based on his teachings. Actually, we just ran a play. He helped me make $70,000 in one day. Listen, what he's doing right now is an upcoming digital masterclass teaching exactly what he taught me to have a 7-figure year. I'm telling you, I owe a lot of my success to this man because he just understands marketing in a whole nother way. But what he's doing is offering the things that he taught me to you for free. He's doing a digital masterclass that he's given to you for free at general admission, 50% off the VIP. I suggest VIP because you get a lot more time with him and he really pours into the VIP. But if you just want to go to the class and you want to be a part of it, general admission free. A lot of y'all been following him, waiting for him to open something up. He's giving it exclusively to the podcast listeners, 50% off. So don't tell nobody, okay? So listen, go to spmasterclass.com, free general admission, 50% off VIP. Do VIP though, okay? spmasterclass.com. Go get it. Let's have a big year this year. And some people think they have passive income, but they don't.
They're still working for it.
Even me, like you would say, okay, the morning meetup might be passive, but I have to show up every morning. I'm doing events for like, y'all enjoy the morning meetup, right? See the value? But it's not necessarily passive because I show up. Now, I don't have a problem with it because I think I'd be worse off if I didn't. I need the community just as much as the community needs me. But it's still not, I still got to work. We still got to come up with the calls. I still got to call my friends and have them jump on the call. I still got to come up with a message, which I absolutely love. So I think you got to have that line of don't stop doing what you love doing for, a better business model. But it really struck a chord with me. Like, do I have any passive income?
I do.
Tell me about it.
And you do too.
I got a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
I do. Well, my course, my signature program is passive. I designed it to be.
I don't know, though.
It is passive. Tell me why not.
But we got to get on the podcast. You got to promote it. You got to do lives. You got to keep being Donni Wiggins for the sales. If you're not actively building your personal brand, it's not like the sales just happen to jump like.
So the thing is, I believe now at this point, we are almost 2 years in on podcast episodes. These episodes live forever.
They do.
Right? So people will continue to watch these episodes, and for a year, it will still sell, right?
Yeah, but not as... If we stop right now... So older videos are going to get less traction.
Sure.
Right? So this video that released is going to get way more traction than one we did last year. Now, some people might see it, right? But we have a smaller sample size of people that's seeing it, the one we did before, which means it's a higher possibility that over the next 6 months, that particular video won't make no sales.
So I have to disagree because I see it in Six Figure Chick's brand, right? Her content that she created prior to leaving this earth has sustained her business. And I think we're 2 years in now since she's passed.
Yes.
Has sustained her business. Now she has people in place that are continuing to work her brand, just like I do, right? But it's based off of the content that she's put out there. So if I wanted to walk away, I can create a plan and communicate to my team that we're going to continue to repurpose this content so that the message and the brand is still being built, but I'm not doing anything.
But are you doing that right now?
Actually, yeah. No, seriously, the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
All right, so tell me how this is working. Tell me.
So I have just hired a community manager and a content manager. So those individuals' jobs, and so this is something that I am doing, but it is just starting. Their jobs are to manage my communities. And I'm going to leave it at that. Their jobs are to manage my communities.
You have to guide those people, especially them being new?
Right. So this is a new position. So I have to train and develop them.
Right.
Period.
So it's not there yet.
But it is passive. Passive doesn't mean that you never have to give it any attention. That's not what it means. Passive means that you don't have to actively work on a consistent basis in your business.
Yes.
Once I get these people trained and developed, that income is passive.
But I believe the things that they're selling, the people that are like, let's say you're engaging the community. This is people that bought from you. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if they bought from you, the product that they bought isn't passive because they already bought from you, and your community manager is just keeping, I'm guessing.
No. So they're managing more than that. So they're managing the community from a fulfillment standpoint, and then they're managing other communities from a growth standpoint. Mm-hmm. In addition to that,
How do they grow it if you're not showing up?
By repurposing content that I've already
How? Tell me. Are they taking video clips to put on Instagram?
It can be video clips from Instagram.
What it can be. Tell me the model.
It is. It's video clips from Instagram. I have hundreds of videos that have never been seen before. That can be broken down 3 and 4 times into all different kinds of pieces.
You don't post that much like that now.
But I have a library full.
But if they're not
But I have a library. I just hired the people.
I know. So my point is, it's not past. There's
literally.
I think they're
literally just hired.
Based on what you're saying, and based on I know who you are, I think you have a really, really good plan to create passive income. Mm-hmm. But it's not created yet.
It's passive. I don't do anything there. I mention it in conversation on the podcast. That is not work. It is completely passive.
It's not work, but you still got to do something that gets people engaged in the brand.
No. It's no different than a landlord who has 500 doors talking about his business model and having successful conversations and saying, hey, this is what I do. He still has to communicate with realtors and brokers and maybe respond to tenant issues and pay something if something goes. In fact, that's more work.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm in this situation now.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I don't even pay the invoices. So someone on the team pays the invoices. Mm-hmm. And I just see.
What happens if that person on the team doesn't pay the invoice?
But they do. It's
what
passive.
If they quit?
Then I have to pay.
I was in this space too. I owned this company for 4 years, right? That did exactly that. I had doors and it feels like passive income, but I don't know a model yet that you put in place and you walk away from and you never talk about, you never have to have a conversation about it, you never address a concern with it. By your logic, you're saying that it completely hands-free, I put it in place and never again will I have to do anything with it. I don't know that business model to exist.
I'm telling you. So I don't look at the properties, fix nothing. They give me a report. And you put a team in place that you trust. You have to trust your team in any scenario, right? But I make money from it every month and I am completely in the dark about, I don't know what's happening.
Same thing.
The income is passive, but I'm saying I don't have to do anything at all.
Yes, you do.
Like what? Tell me what I do.
You literally just talked about the business. You have to decide what your rents are going to be.
I did not decide what the rents are going to be.
You will?
No, I don't. They know that space.
Who was Terica's point of contact?
Who was Terica's point of contact?
Who was Terica's point of contact?
Some lady.
No. When you are securing a new property, who is Terica's point of contact?
It's some lady. I forgot her name.
So Terica doesn't talk to you about properties that she's securing for you?
So I have to actively secure a property.
Actively secure the property.
But after I secure them, I don't have to do anything else for them.
After I train my team, I don't have to do anything else.
Are you training them right now?
Not yet.
You're not even training. So let's have this conversation.
Because I have an operations person.
We'll have this conversation.
My role hasn't had to step in yet.
After you train them and get the system going, then we'll have this conversation. But for right now, the only truly passive income that I have is whether it's like stocks are passive. You have to buy the stock, right?
And so I think you are giving the wrong depiction of what passive income means.
Let's just look at the definition.
Passive doesn't mean that you never have to do anything.
I'm not saying never.
No, you are kind of.
Not never. So I have to pay the taxes. Let's just say. Right? I gotta look at the taxes and I have to pay the taxes. Let's say that's still passive income because I don't have to do anything for the income that's created. It's not built on my brand. I don't gotta create no content. I don't have to make no videos. I don't talk to anybody. I don't have to do the accounting. It's passive. So what I'm saying
passive income is simply money earned on an investment or from work completed in the past that continues to make money without any additional effort.
No additional effort.
Active income, on the other hand, is money earned in exchange for performing a service. I am not exchanging. The money has already been done. I don't have to continue to perform that service. The work has already been done. That product is in place. I don't have to do anything. The digital information space is one of the most passive income strategies to date. Real estate is also one of the most passive income strategies to date. The stock market, I know people say it's passive, but in my experience in the stock market, I have to actively watch my money. I be on that app.
There's not even anything you can do about it. You just watch it. Oh, dang, it's down. Oh, that's good. It's up. Anybody got any weigh in on this conversation? Anybody got anything to share? Because I really believe that, I'm not saying you don't have to do anything at all, right? But you don't have to actively do anything. Right now, if we are selling a course, product, or service, we have to create content. We have to be present. We have to create content. We have to do some stuff.
Well, in the beginning, you always have to do something.
For sure.
Even when you are purchasing real estate.
Right.
Even when you are investing in stocks. In the beginning, you have to do something until you audit and say, how can I turn this into passive income? Right? So, for example, with my 6-figure accelerator program, it wasn't passive when I was the person who still had to do the Q&As every single week. But I trained and developed other coaches. And now I no longer have to do the Q&As every single week. So that program lives where it lives. And I have a team that handles the rest. And they do an amazing job at helping people get results. I don't know what they talked about on the Q&A. I don't know how many people are in the program unless I go in there and look for it. I have a sales team that handles that. I don't do anything. My coaching business, on the other hand, is very active income because if I don't show up, it will make $0. I can't even tell you if I have posted about my course on Instagram in the last 6 months.
Step your passive game up. I'm stepping mine up too.
I know. Did I get that? Am I? Did I get that?
What's up, man? You go to the mic, please.
I was just about to say, I think there's a difference in opinion of how you both are qualifying what the activity level is to nudge it.
True. But who's right, you think, if you had to pick
right?
Let's just play.
Well,
unless I'm right.
I feel like anything has to be nudged. Period.
Then who's right?
But here's the thing. Let's say the properties I have in Louisiana, I do not have to nudge them. I don't have to touch them. Because their business, their property management business is to just send me my money.
Dave, the roof caves in after a hurricane. What happens?
They send an invoice and it gets paid.
They send the invoice. So the roof caves in.
Yes.
It's a $30,000 job and you don't get involved?
Well, somebody has to call the insurance company.
Do you get involved if the roof caves in?
Absolutely not.
I know you. $30,000? What is this? Who did this? Why wasn't I notified? I know you.
But no, if the roof caves in, first off, if a roof caves in, and let me educate you about real estate. If the roof caves in, you don't pay for the roof to get fixed.
Insurance does.
Insurance. So the property management company. So if the roof caves in one of Mr. Baker's properties, he doesn't call and go look at the roof and say, okay, this is how much. You don't do that. Your property management company manages
Insurance
the
is
property.
delayed for whatever reason. They're sorting out the technicalities. Insurance is delayed. You have tenants. The roof is caved in. Insurance is saying, hey, if you have to go ahead and move forward, we're going to reimburse you, but this has to be handled now. Nobody calls you before paying a $30,000.
Okay, they're going to call me and let me know, yes, the roof caves in. And then they handle it. It's not work that has to be done. I don't have to do any work. I don't have to like go out there and pay the contractor and find the contract.
Your authorization is work.
Oh my gosh.
It
all right.
is.
You don't need semantics. All right. Okay.
All I'm saying is I don't know a business model that will make me money forever that I never have to address or talk about.
You know what this reminds me of? You just hit me with the, what if the roof caves in? You got to do. I was doing a presentation and we were selling a product. Like, it was like, I don't know, maybe like a $2,000, $3,000, maybe $5,000 product or whatever. And the guy says, man, real quick, I just want to know, what happens if my mom gets sick and I need to get my money back?
This was MLM?
No, it was just, we were selling something. I think it maybe my t-shirt business or some t-shirt brand coaching or whatever. I said, bruh, that's where your mind goes? What happens if your mom gets sick and you need the money? Then okay, in special situations, yes, you would have to do something. But in general, I don't believe any business that's built on a personal brand is passive.
I don't think any business that's built on a personal brand is passive.
I don't believe it.
I think it's arguable. I think it's about how the business has forecasted their future and what they've done. So, for example, I just got to the point where I said, you know what? I need someone intentionally in place that is helping me repurpose this content because this has to live on. And it's not just for continuing passive income. It has to live on for so many different reasons. But we've got all this content and I still shoot fresh content. Like, why am I doing this work? I don't even have to do this work. We've got hundreds, maybe even 1,000 videos that I've never even shown the public.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
That it depends on where the personal brand is to determine whether or not you're making passive income from it or not. So, for example, let's say that with the morning meetup, you've got 1,000 affiliates for the morning meetup that are all going out and referring their friends. Is that a passive stream of income for you?
It would be if I wasn't. It would be if I wasn't as heavily involved.
Is it a passive stream of income to your business that you don't have to work for?
Is that a passive stream?
Mm-hmm. So you didn't have to work for...
No, not because I have to fulfill the sale.
You have to fulfill the morning meetup.
Yes.
You didn't have to do anything for the affiliate referrals.
Yes, but there is no affiliate referral if when they pay to be here, I'm not fulfilling it.
You have to perform inside of the morning meetup with or without affiliates. Mm-hmm. So work that you have to do anyway doesn't count. Now you've got this other stream of income coming in for as long as you're continuing to do the work that you were doing anyway.
That's not passive, that's scaling. That's scale. That's growing your business at scale, but it's still not passive.
It is absolutely. You aren't doing anything to generate the income for this. Now, just like if you sold the real estate properties and you no longer had the properties, that income stops. Well, if you no longer had the morning meetup, that income would stop as well. But you were not actively going out and getting these people. You're not doing anything. Other people are bringing them to the table. That's called passive scaling.
I'm going to get you some real estate so you can really understand passive
Been
income.
there, done that, okay?
It probably wasn't passive, though.
It was passive.
You was probably collecting the rent. They calling a plumber to fix the plumbing. Like that In that situation, it's not passive. But it's cool. We're gonna get you passive. Donnie, don't worry. You just stick with me, kid.
I cannot.
Okay, so anyway, is there something else? Something else happened this week.
We haven't even talked about anything that's happened.
Oh, yeah. How was your week? We're 40 minutes in.
It doesn't even matter anymore. I'm over my week. I'm over me and your
You know
week.
why?
Why?
You don't got no passive income.
I cannot.
You know what? You right out here.
Arguably, I have a significant source of passive income. And I'm going to help you elevate to my level.
Arguably?
Arguably.
What do you mean?
Well, we just sat here and debated it. I want to invite you to pick my brain.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine too.
Yours too.
I
Okay, you guys. We are so excited because we just dropped our newest podcast series called the Brain Picker Podcast. David.
Oh, it's going down. You get to pick our brain. You have a business idea, a concept. You're stuck. You can't get off the ground. You need the advice of seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs that are practitioners, but we got a lot of people that we've been coaching all over the last decade.
All over the globe.
They got receipts.
Not just that, you never know where your next investor might be hanging out. And the word on the street is, we got all the connections.
That's a big fact.
We got all the connections. So if you want to sit down with us and pick our brains.
In front of our audience.
And we're letting you pick our brains. We won't even talk bad about you for doing it in front of our audience, bringing your business maximum exposure. Find the link somewhere around here, wherever you see it.
It's there.
And apply
right now
to pick our brain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let me tell you something else from the social perspective. This joint was crazy. Eddie Benoit Jr. has 5,000 properties.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
5,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I said to him? I was like, man, I'm looking for this building, man. I'm looking for this specs in Atlanta. I know you got a lot of real estate. Let me know. He said, I don't know what you should do about that. And I said, I'm like, all right, well, if anything comes across your desk, just, let me know. If you just happen to find a piece, he said, it won't. I said,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? He said, that stuff doesn't ever come to me. We have a team of people that's them. He said, it's like asking a doctor if you know, where I can find some good masks from. It's like, I don't know where to get masks from. I'm a doctor. I do brain surgery, okay? And I thought, to manage 5,000 properties.
And you don't know anything.
You don't know what's going on. Not on the little, he said, I'll secure. He said, my average deal is 36 million or something like that. The average deal, we'll do a couple of those a year. There's levels. There's levels and levels and one thing. And then I asked him, we were at lunch. I mean, we kind of, so we do the episode and then we break to eat. And I said, man, what does retirement look like? He said, I don't know. He said, I just create. He said, if I didn't create, I would die. He said, it is the joy of creating, the ideas and all that kind of stuff. And now he's doing a show, right? Where, here's what I realized too, Donni, I'm sure you see it. There are people who have really big businesses. They make a whole lot of money, but they want to do what we're doing. And they come to us like, yo, how do you put out a video? How do you get people to watch it?
And we're looking at them like, huh?
Right.
Us?
Right.
Me?
I will trade you this podcast for all 5,000.
All 5,000 of those doors. I'll put you on today.
For sure. That told me that we all have value. Mm-hmm. No matter where you think you are, you're seeing people who are high and mighty and they're killing it. Mm-hmm. There's something that you have that you can teach somebody. Button that up. What's up with you?
First of all, David, did I get this out of my eye?
Because you keep messing with it. I'm like, yo, this is
did I get this out of my eye?
This is a kid-friendly podcast.
Did I get this
This is a family show.
First of all, there is absolutely nothing exposed. Thank you. There's absolutely nothing exposed. If the boys or girls get turned on by a little thigh.
Got your Mary J. Blige boots on.
Eat it up, baby.
I see you out here.
You know what I mean? If I could stand up, I would absolutely do the dance right now.
The little kick.
I love Mary.
Oh, man.
I love Mary.
Yes. So,
how was your week?
My week was...
Give me something amazing that happened in your week this week.
Something amazing that happened in my week this week. Man, it's like all amazing stuff. The biggest thing is we're getting closer and closer to opening this podcasting studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really, really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think your environment is everything. So after the Social Proof 7, obviously me and Terica, we're doing some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there I'm like, yo, we need this building. So we're building a building, but it's more a podcasting studio. And I think the space is probably going to hold maybe 75, 100 people. But
75 what?
Like 75 to 100 people in the event space part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people can kind of do their podcast in other rooms. But I'm like, we need a sound stage. We need a building where we can build out like the Oprah set or Arsenio Hall set. I just see like a set that like has the escalating chairs and all that kind of stuff. And I want to, you get a microphone. I'm not going to give cars, but you get a camera. You get, I want to do that.
You get a bottle of water. You get a t-shirt.
But being around them, it's like, yo, I really got to get in this space. So this was actually, last couple of days, I was sitting on a property. There's one in Decatur. There's an AutoZone place where they want like $1 million for it. AutoZone, the building, they're selling the building for $1 million. AutoZone is leasing the building up until December 31st of this year. And I sent it to Terica. I'm like, yo, I want this joint. And I think it's maybe like 6,000 square feet, something like that. And she reached out and the guy just never hit her back.
Okay.
There's another property that was really, really dope. I actually showed Kenny yesterday off Piedmont. 7,000 square feet.
Y'all
right
drove
off Piedmont.
to it?
Huh?
Y'all drove to it?
No, I just showed it to him on the app. But they want 1.6 million. So Terica talks to the guy about the 1.6 million, and she's like, yo, you need something else. She said, yo, you don't necessarily need to buy a building. You could just buy land and build your own joint.
That's a fact.
And I never thought about that. So I said, okay, well, as she starts going through the numbers, like per square foot, you're going to, be able to build it for $150, $200 square foot, and you find something else, you can build it exactly how you want. So started looking for land. Yesterday, I found a parcel of land. Not far from here, actually, like around the corner.
You love this area.
I'm going to own this whole area. Because not too far from Buckhead, like not too far from the city.
Mr. Monopoly.
Hey, man. So anyway, we see the land and they want $300,000. I jump in my car, I ride up, I'm like, Terica, I like this. Because she's telling me about the whole land play. I'm like, I like this. And I go to it and the land, it's a nice piece of land. It's nice. They want $379. We call the realtor. And so this is the play. Terica's like, yo, what we can do is put the space says in the doc that you could build it up 6 stories high.
Okay.
Right? She said you can do the downstairs event space and kind of do your thing and then put units on top. And we can Airbnb the units. Fire. So we start looking for land. I find this spot of land. They want $379. We call the realtor on three-way after I see it, because they just built a brand new elementary school across the street.
Okay.
And they're doing construction next to it.
Okay.
And it's it's like almost half an acre. Like 1 point, how do you say 0.4?
A quarter acre?
A quarter would be a third, though.
A quarter would be a third.
A quarter of an acre.
It's 0.25. So you're talking about 0.5 would be
No, it's
half
0.4. It's 0.4, so it's not a quarter. A quarter would be 0.25. Am I right? Yes. Come on, don't try to.
A quarter is 0.25.
I said it's 0.4, though.
That's still not a half.
I know. That's why I don't know what to call it. It's not a half. It's not a quarter. It's a 0.4 of an acre.
It's 40% of an acre.
Yeah, don't gaslight me.
It's a 40th of an acre?
A 40th of an acre. That sounds crazy. But anyway.
But it's correct.
It's 0.4 of an acre.
Okay.
Not quite half an acre.
It's 0.4 acres is what you would say.
It's less than half an acre. Y'all good with that? It's less than half an acre.
0.4 acres.
Can I finish my story?
It's 0.4 acres.
When it says acreage, the size is 0.4.
Guys.
That's what it says. So anyway, it's really, really nice.
Okay.
So we called the realtor and he starts telling us one offer is like a partial offer. He said, we got 2 offers in. One's a partial offer. Another one is they want to put down a certain amount of money and do owner financing for the rest. So the owner carries the mortgage and you pay the owner or whatever. And for some reason, the realtor says, he said, you could put in an offer and, as long as it starts with a 3, I think the owner would be happy. And Terica says, bet, let's do it. Put in an offer for $300,000 today, cash. You ain't got to worry about no financing, funding, nothing. Put in an offer for $300,000. And he said, wow, I said that fast. But let me tell you how gangster Terica is. She said, yo, you can represent us. So, the realtor, they get a percentage.
Yep.
The buyer's realtor gets a percentage. The seller realtor gets a percentage.
You make this deal happen, you represent us. Period.
She said, you are our realtor. You get the commission. And he's like, say less. He sent it to us last night, actually. So for $300,000, we're going to get the land. And she's saying we could build what we want to build and be all in for less than $2 million. So we'll start raising money for the rest of the money, but we're going to secure the land.
That's dope.
It's like being in the environment. This is why I stress everybody do a podcast, because you get to have conversations with people and build relationships. Yeah. Like our stuff, like we're doing a podcast, we're doing stuff outside because of the relationship. But yeah, man, it's a whole nother like level of excitement.
Levels. So what are your top 5 biggest goals for this year?
10,000 people in the morning meetup.
That's one. 10,000 people in the morning meetup. That's huge. How many do you have right now?
800.
800. So that's a exponential growth goal. Okay. And we're going to get back to that. So that's one.
The next one will be 10,000 people in the morning meetup.
Are you focused only on one goal this year?
I think
because your activity...
Yeah, you'll do other stuff, but if there's a focus, that's where the ball is. And I'm thinking everything that is done has to lead to it has to like somehow accompany that goal.
Okay.
Somehow.
So what are you doing to go from 800 active members to 10,000?
We're building out the community platform. So I already talked about it on the morning meetup, the Mighty Network joint. It's a network where like everybody creates their own profile. You can connect with each other. You can see how many people are actually in your region. You can have your own like little group chat. So let's just say the group chat is like for women only or something like that. You can create a group and just the women are having women conversations in this community. We're doing more events.
I love Mighty Network.
You like it?
I've told you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. So so we're creating an experience because I want people to join the community for more than a morning call. You got to give people more than one reason to buy or support, to be tapped in. So
that's one of the things that
I'm sorry, real quick. Are you free on the 20th? Because we have the morning meetup.
Where is it?
It'll be here in Atlanta.
It'll probably be
Atlanta, like 400, 500 people.
Yeah, if it's in Atlanta, I can be here. It's my mom's birthday, so as long as I don't have to travel.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool.
One of the things that I admire most about what you've built is the morning meetup. And I think I told you, I mentioned to you that I'm bringing back Actionable Woman, but Actionable CEO. So it's because I work with men and women now. Actionable CEO. And I'm going to go back and really, really, really pick apart your business model for the morning meetup in terms of how it operates and your growth strategy.
And steal it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, a success key is copy the right cat. Copy the right cat. So that doesn't mean that you're going to rip off somebody's business model, right? But you take portions of it that are lacking inside of you and you duplicate it. You use it as inspiration to duplicate within your own business model, right? Copying verbatim is never flattery. People say that copycats are flattery. It's not. Like copying somebody verbatim is not flattery.
All right, so
being inspired by them, however.
Hold on. So remember I did that presentation with the boxes and
First of all, I told you I was taking that. He came home last night and said, Dave said you ripped off his training. I'm like, does Dave tell you all the things he rips off from me?
Yo, it was like
this is what we do.
It was like a drawing or something like that. I don't, you know, crazy because I couldn't even remember it because I came up with it before that call.
How did this conversation happen? How did y'all even get on this?
Because he was talking about his, he was telling me about, he'll tell me about his concepts. And before he tells me, he said, it's trademarked, you know. So then he'll tell me. I'm like, Kenny, ain't nobody about to steal
Nobody wants
and
to
that's
steal
how I came up with it. And I just remember that. But I couldn't even remember the presentation.
I remember it.
That joint was fire.
That joint was fire. And it has,
some of my best work.
It has worked. I think it went on.
Can you stop using it though, just in case I want to use it again?
Can I see your notebook? Can I just have it? Can I have the notebook that you use while we're here in the podcast? Can I just have all my ideas back? all of these processes that he says, yeah, this is so we're going to come up with this concept.
So we create formulas. It's typically a collaboration of formula.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, that David then takes and makes his own.
I don't really use it again.
Yeah.
I don't really use it again. Not verbatim. I should, but I don't.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't use yours verbatim, but there was a clutch moment in which I did.
It was
take
verbatim.
That.
You can't say word for word.
It wasn't verbatim, but it was heavily inspired. It was heavily inspired.
Well, so this is my sister, so she like we can do that to each other. But if you
try me like that,
right.
It's trademarked.
Yes.
Yeah. So your week. So the morning meetup is your biggest goal for this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Biggest goal. And there's so many things that will come out of. There's so many, I think, there's so many opportunities and successes and big wins that come out of the big win or, like the big goal.
Yeah.
But we're so focused on chasing little stuff and we make sure we get some money over here and make sure we build that. But if you build the right thing and your brand is cohesive, everything else grows anyway. It's like we want to be number one in the business podcast charts, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we have a community of 10,000 people and we say, hey, y'all, we are doing this huge push, they'll get us to number one.
Yeah.
Right? There might be certain income goals for, events or, I want to do an event with 5,000 people. Well, if we got a community of 10,000.
So give me some advice, coach me. So I'm bringing back Actionable CEO. Mm-hmm. By the time this launches, by the time this is out, it may be out. The most that I had in 2017 when I had Actionable Woman was 275 women.
Gotcha.
I want to grow Actionable CEO to 1,000 members this year from zero. What would be my first 3 steps or 3 pieces of advice that you would give me?
Well, tell me your email so I can send you an invoice for a session first. And then we'll discuss it. So just like...
Should I appear on the Brain Picker podcast? That's what he said.
Sign up for your own podcast. Okay, so tell me more about the outcome.
So with my coaching, my one-on-one clients have the advantage of me not just being a business coach, but I believe that I say this all the time, you can't be a successful CEO that enjoys your success as a CEO if you have a crappy life, right? And oftentimes we overlook the foundation of what it takes to be happy in life and happy in business, happy as a person and happy as a CEO. So my coaching one-on-one or in any capacity focuses on the whole person, right? Actionable CEO is also going to be focused on the whole person. You need to be a CEO to be there. Otherwise, some of these concepts won't matter. But, I focus on mindset, meditation, affirmation, and actual action steps that you take so that you can build whatever it is that you're working on to success and actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. So there will be business, coaching and things like that in there, but we're really focused on the mind, body, and spirit of the CEO.
Got it. Okay. That was it? What time are they coming? They're there now? How are they going to get in? Oh, great. Okay, great. Yes, the carpet's here. This is exciting. Okay.
What are my 3 tips?
Yo, you want to tell them? Just tell them how to get in. Yeah. Okay. So 3 tips on building. For one, it has to be really good. The information delivered just has to be amazing. 2, I would say you have to be a part of someone's life.
That's good. Let me write that. Let me take that note with me.
Yes. What's up? There you go. You have to like really hold a stake in someone's life. You have to be a part of, like, so for instance, if somebody is going through something like heavy, let's say, they're just going through something. It has to be designed to where they think of you and your community as the thing that's going to get them through, right? So let's say a trainer isn't a part of my life. They're helping me.
Clearly.
They're strengthening me.
It's evident that a trainer is not a part of your life. I mean, I'm just...
I do need a trainer should be a part of my life. But anyway, they're helping you get to a goal, but you only think about them when you start thinking about your health. I think my man Zeus is so dope because he's a trainer, but through the training, he's like, yo, so, how do you feel about, when your mom passed, or, what's going on? What's some history of, health in your life, like mental. He said this to me one time. He said, Dave, you're successful. And how are you he said, you're successful and you're married, but how are you going to handle it when your body is sculpted and you may be distracted or being come onto heavily by women because your body looks crazy and you're making money. And that created a conversation. Now, for me, I'm not driven by that stuff, but the fact that we have these type of conversations, it's not just about getting to the goal that you're helping me with. So,
did you tell him that was unlikely?
Yeah, 100%. I said, I'm not tripping.
I mean, the body part.
I said, I've been sexy.
Sculpted like crazy. You want to be fine so bad.
Real bad, too. I just don't want to do the work for it. So anyway, I think what works with the morning meetup is there is a safe space for us to grow. We have a book club. The book club isn't just an added feature or a benefit. We're reading it, but we talk about it. And in the conversation, we get to be on the same page. And there's a language associated. So y'all are getting together tomorrow, right? In the morning meetup? He just invited me today. It's crazy. I'm sure they knew about it a while ago. And it was in passing.
I don't have your number.
He just happened to be here. And they ain't announced it on the call, like, yo, Dave, y'all try. It's just, they got their own little thing going, which is cool.
Okay.
But here's what I know is going to happen. Someone's going to make some sort of reference to the book that we're reading or the book that we just got done reading. Something's going to happen. Just hold me to it. Something's going to happen where there's some sort of reference to a book that we've all been reading together. And that creates a certain common language in the group. It's the book club. We read it, we talk about it, and hold each other accountable. Everybody's getting together. So the people that they're hanging out with, there has to be a culture where everything is not about you, the coach. And I think it's hard for people to build a community because it's all about the person. I could do every call, but I don't, because I want to introduce y'all to some other amazing people. And the reason most coaches won't do that is because they'd be afraid that someone's going to leave the morning meetup and join your program.
Lack mentality. And people do. Guess what? So many people have, out of the morning meetup, joined my program. And guess what? They're also still in the morning meetup.
Right.
Lack mentality, poverty mentality. That's one thing that I learned.
Can I say something?
No. I used to hold my ideas so close to my chest many years ago because I was so afraid that people would just take my idea. But when you realize that even if someone took your idea, they are still not you. They still didn't have the original thought, right? So whatever piece of that concept they take it and they make it theirs or whatever. You have to be, when you're building community, you have to be confident enough to expose your community to other people who can strengthen your community. Because if it's all about you, you only know what you know. Therefore, they only know what you know.
Absolutely.
But then when you start just adding value, like in this community, I get to hear from this person, and we learn this and this and this. There's no way I can teach everything that I desire to teach inside of Actionable CEO. There's no way you could teach a lot of the things that are taught inside of the morning meetup. But you've created this 7-figure arm of business by having a wealth or an abundance mindset and sharing your community with other people. And you don't care if people join their programs or not. You're so confident in the value that you provide there that, sell your program. What do you have? Make sure you make an offer. Make sure you make an offer.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still going to be here.
Yeah, we were both like coaching and had coaching communities, but they weren't communities. And I remember it because there were some people that were in my program. It's like, like my coaching program.
Yeah.
That left my program and joined your program.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this like back and forth of who's better. You feel me? But that was only because I don't think we yet understood how to create an environment that people grow in. And if you have an environment, you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
You think, environment is so important and so strong. There are people that have actually been in prison for years and they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
There's some people that like live in a non-progressive city in their hood. They know their fate. They know everybody there. But they've been there so long. When someone says, hey, let's go get this opportunity, let's move to this new city, they won't, even though the environment that they're in isn't even serving them. Environment is strong. If you spend time in an environment long enough, it impacts you. But the key is getting people to stay and creating that culture, creating that community.
The key isn't only in getting people to stay. That's definitely the key. But the key is also not allowing your feelings to be hurt when people leave.
Oh, 100%.
Because that
100%.
will take you out of the game. I have a client right now who is building an amazing community for his business model. And when we get on our calls weekly, like I'm training, he's a newer client and he's just coming into the mindset of focusing on the parts that you can control. And I am having to work with him to shift his language from focusing on the negative things and focusing more on the positive things that are actually working, because he'll get on the call and he'll say, hey, coach, this isn't working. I'm struggling to figure out why, 5 people left my community last week. And I'm like, well, how many people came? How many people joined the community? And he will focus so much on the 5 people that left versus the 25 people who came that he's coming to me with all these ideas. So I was thinking that I could change this about the community and maybe people will stay. No, people are going to leave. They are going to leave, and that's just the fact of the matter. And you can't have hurt feelings, because if your feelings are hurt, you become emotional, and now you don't want to build this community anymore because you're so focused on your hurt little feelings because somebody left you that you don't want to build it anymore.
100%.
So while you want to add value and make sure that there are pieces in place that encourage people to stay, we have to also start looking at the facts. The churn rate of the average membership group, that's somewhere around $100, between $75 and $100 a month. Churn rate, Shans, is the time that they spend in the group before they quit, is
I know that.
90 days. So when you are building a community and you're in that price point and you understand, hey, my price is somewhere between $75 and $100. I understand that statistically the market says that the average turnover rate is 90 days. If you've got some people staying in there for 12 months, you're doing an amazing job. If people have stayed in there for 90 days, you're hitting the industry average. If people are staying in there for 120 days, 150 days, you've exceeded industry average. So we have to look at the facts as well when it comes to building a community.
100%. Yep. And I would probably say the third thing is don't focus primarily on your major income being from the group. I would say part of the reason our community keeps growing is because I keep doing stuff that inspire people. Outside of the morning meetup, I'm continuing to grow my business and I'm learning, growing the podcast. People want to be around something that's growing. I'm not growing because the community is growing. I'm growing because I'm growing stuff. And the stuff that I'm growing is inspiring to people to say, the fact that I'm saying we're going for 10,000 is inspirational to people in the community.
Yeah.
So now Marlon, he says something like, my goal is to scale to 100 cars this year. He might have 8 or 9, which is, I have 800, I'm trying to scale to 10,000. He's taking the same model and saying, yo, I'm gonna scale to 100. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Because that was the first thing I said. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. But this is where we're going. We're going big. But outside of that, you can see I'm building a building and I'm getting with the right people and creating an environment and working on other stuff and coming back to tell the stories of the stuff that I'm working on, not just giving y'all some good information. Because I think the things that I'm going out to build that I bring back to the community is to strengthen the community, not just information that I have to get you where I'm at. I'm trying to help y'all get to where I'm going.
Yeah.
And telling you like the things that I've learned along this journey. So I think that's a big thing that coaches miss is my goal is to grow the thing and not become an inspiration. So the goal is to grow it, but the other stuff that I'm building is to be inspirational and it will grow by default.
Yeah, you said something and you almost said it perfectly as to where it would have been a bar, so I'll fix it for you. What you should have said is, I am not growing because the community is growing. The community is growing because I am growing.
So who owns the rights to that bar?
Oh, I do.
Who owns? No, I don't know.
No. So you
can't just remix my joint.
Let me write that down right now. I'm about to post it on
I'll
photo.
post that.
I'm posting it right now. Yeah. So when you are focused on growth, the things around you will grow as well.
Facts.
You can't have an inner growth mentality and allow the things around you to die.
Facts.
You can't do it. As parents, when you are focused on flourishing and being better used, that translates through your children. You start making better decisions for your children. You start caring for your pets better. You start watering those plants the way you're supposed to water those plants because your internal makeup right now, your whole focus is on growth, life, and abundance. So you want the things around you to grow and be abundant as well. Your children become great when they see parents.
I just gotta say something real quick.
No.
I'm not growing because the community.
I cannot with you. I absolutely cannot. You cannot.
I can't stand you. Are we done here?
I think we are done here.
I think we're done here. Listen, y'all. Subscribe to the podcast, man. Like and subscribe. Are y'all subscribe? You subscribe on the app? What's on Spotify or Apple? Spotify, y'all subscribe.
Hey, you guys, I'm coming live from the podcast,
you know that, right?
And I just had a major thought.
Yo,
and I need to
you're
share
stealing my bar.
I need to share it with you.
You're gonna steal my the way of you. I can't. Can we?
I am not growing because my community is growing. My community is growing because I am growing. And before David Shan stole my bars, I needed all these witnesses to be here and see that was a Donni Wiggins bar. You guys have an amazing day. Let me go ahead and post that.
Oh my gosh. Question.
Go ahead and
Are you
post
following the Brain Picker podcast and the Morning Meetup podcast? Go on and hit them, man. Go on and grab your phone. All three? Locked in. You got a question? Microphone, please. Let's do it.
This one right here, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay. So the question, making the community grow, getting them on fire. if you have that televised or syndicated, that can be a passive point of income, I believe. It's your personal brand that inspired everyone, and it goes. Like Jackie Chan's films, after he passes, they're going to still be consumed. You have a community that's growing to 10,000. People are going to want to see that story, and I think that might become passive income. That's just a question.
First of all, you just killed Jackie Chan.
Oh.
We could have used Bruce Lee. His estate is his estate earning passive income in your opinion? Bruce Lee.
His estate is earning passive income, yes, but it's going to decline every year.
Yes, it is going to decline. Well, I don't know. Do you believe that Michael Jackson's
Absolutely.
income is declining every year?
Absolutely.
I know that there was several years late, Aaliyah just hit a record of like 7.5 million followers on the re-release of one of her albums, 7.5 million, whatever it was. That's the most she's done, the highest peak that she's had.
Yeah, but her albums weren't even accessible for 20 years.
That's not true.
It is true.
That's not true.
Look it up.
You look it up.
I'm telling you, I know the answer. Because I remember when it finally came out, it was a big deal. And I listened to that joint 10 times a day.
You were on
and this was recently, like last year. Last year, it was just available. Something happened with the rights or whatever where you couldn't listen to her music.
When's the last time you wrote a 4-page letter?
I mean, I didn't close it with a kiss, but
you wrote a couple of 4-page letters.
100%.
No, so what he's saying is are these podcast episodes going to turn into passive income?
Well, you got to do it on the mic because they won't be able to hear you.
And Donni, you have a bunch of unreleased. Tupac had a bunch of unreleased. They got released and people it became hot stuff. If you have unreleased stuff pointing people to the game, I'm thinking
yes, I agree with that. So we're doing the morning meetup, right? So what Kashif is doing, he's taking all of the morning meetup videos from like last year and he's chopping them up and we're going to upload them on, being uploaded on the podcast, right? So I actually last month made $3.85. They sent me a check for $3.85. Not a check, but $3.85 from that podcast.
That's dope.
Yep. So that was, I'm guessing that could technically be considered passive because I don't necessarily have to do anything for it, but I am creating episodes for 2022 that are going to be released next year. So, I guess we can consider. I don't know.
So we literally just went, why are men this way? I literally just said the same exact thing about the morning meetup and the affiliate program. I'm still doing episodes for the podcast, but I guess since people are still coming to the old episodes.
That's not the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. If Joe is an affiliate, he's saying, Donni, you should come to the morning meetup. It's an amazing community and you need to be there. You'll learn a bunch of entrepreneurship stuff. He's selling the affiliate based on something that's going to happen today. I have to work. I got to be there. We got to make sure we're providing information. He's selling something that's active. That's like saying, I'm going to sell you a ticket to the Hawks game and that's passive income.
But is the
Hawks have to play tonight.
The podcast is still actively producing episodes.
Yes, it's active.
Yes. Again,
I still don't get your point.
Why do we have to go through these circles?
I don't understand your point.
To just end up saying, Donni, you're right.
You're not. I don't even know where you feel like you're right about. Am
I missing something here? Do you guys understand what I'm saying or no?
Who won? Who won though?
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you believe in what I'm saying?
You understand what I'm saying? You believe in what I'm saying?
I think Donni got you.
How?
For those who can't hear it on the mic, he said, I think Donni got you.
Go to the mic real quick, because I got to qualify his answer.
Yeah.
Go to the mic real quick. So tell me a scenario that you're going to create passive income.
No. Let him just explain his perspective. Don't be trying to skew the vision.
Give me your perspective.
I mean, no. Go ahead and finish with that, because I'm more interested in what you was about to say.
Yeah, I want to know like where your mind goes and how you're going to create passive income from your brand.
How create passive income? I mean, just right now, just basically from what you said, I mean, I would say one of the easiest avenues to maybe go down I would say is real estate, you know, and
I'm talking about for your brand.
Oh, from my brand.
How could you make passive income from your brand?
Affiliate. Yeah. I had to form some type of like community, probably like model your style, or it's like the affiliates. Maybe try to like store something like that and create.
Affiliates.
Okay, good. That's not passive income. So Congratulations. So tell me how she won. You're like on the stand and I got to poke holes in the story first. Go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, it's not something that you have to actively create like every day. That's constantly drawing new members to it.
You talking about the
That's something that you have already put that hard work into it. You have delegated that work over to someone else. So it's not really you per se that's actually putting forth energy and action right there into it. You'd have delegated that work over to someone else. So
which one? What are we talking about? The podcast one?
The affiliate.
Yes, the affiliates. So that's really, that right there helps people that's drawing in more customers over to you.
Yes, it is. But I have to be, so you're saying, if you do an affiliate, you're saying, yo, you should pay for this call that's coming up, right? If no call comes up, then that person isn't going to pay.
I think you're
I have to actually be there.
But you're misunderstanding, David. I'm not saying that the morning meetup itself is a passive stream of income. That's very active. What I am saying is your affiliates bringing in a stream through referrals, that is an active stream of income for a passive stream of income for the morning meetup. You do not have to work for that stream of income that comes into the morning meetup.
Yes.
The morning meetup is active. The affiliate stream of revenue that funnels into it is a passive stream of income that you did not work for.
And I'll give you an example.
Okay.
To be honest, I passed the affiliate link on just in a group chat with my mother, just with my immediate families. And I had my mother and my sister to join up from that. So I'm like, yo, that was something that you never did, It was just the fact that you already had that right there established.
100%.
And I'm already connected to it. I'm passing the word on to someone else. And that, that was all due to you having that system
I get
set
what
up.
you're saying. Yes. I get what you're saying. That's an income that I did not have to work for. But for that to work, I have to work for it. The morning meetup has to be there for that income stream to come.
Just like your property has to be there for your rental income to come.
That's like
Why are we not understanding this?
No, that doesn't.
If you get rid of the property, the income ends. If you get rid of the morning meetup, the income stream ends.
That's different. I am actively in the morning meetup. I'm not actively in the real estate.
You actively own the real estate.
I own the real estate,
and everything, though you've delegated it to other people, you are still in control of that. You still find the property. Somebody finds it for you, brings it to you. You still have to show up. You got to go to the closing. You are still doing something.
I didn't go to closing.
Okay, so you gave a power of attorney to somebody to do a closing for you. You did that, right?
Okay. I didn't go, but in your example,
matter.
I had to go to the closing.
You had to do something. All I'm saying, the morning meetup, just for clarity.
We were doing so good.
The morning meetup is not active income, is not passive income. The stream of money specifically that you get from affiliates who are out here referring on your behalf that you do nothing for, that stream of income is a passive arm. It's a passive extent. That is what I have been saying.
We are on the same page. But for that passive income to exist, an active income has to happen.
Agreed. There. But what I'm also saying is for any passive income to exist, the thing still has to be active.
I'm gonna get you some real estate so you understand what's going on.
We
gotta wrap it up because I got another.
It has to be active.
I have another podcast, some more active income I gotta do at 11:30. So
it's 11:36.
Are we done here?
Is we finished or is we done?
You both won.
And subscribe.
We didn't both win.
No, you both won because as you grow, the community grows. You actively inspired people to want to follow.
Fact.
And your affiliates are selling people to buy into your brand, even when you've transitioned.
100%.
And that's how it
He learned and developed today.
100%.
Yeah, I agree, Dave.
And
you did
because
win.
you're doing real estate, people want to know, how did he do those wins? They will study it for generations to come.
Yeah.
Like those books, How to Influence People, or other seminars.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad I could elevate your education today.
I really just need to expose you. You should hire me as your coach. I don't do coaching, but
I'm so glad I was able to train and develop you today. I am so thankful for our friendship.
This episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, my active income stream, where I am actively there every morning. Go to themorningmeetup.com. You need to join our community, our family. We're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. We do events. Y'all coming to the event, right? On the 20th. It's going to be amazing. We got some special guest speakers. I'm actually trying to pay some people to show up, like some people. So I'm working on it. We'll see. But go to themorningmeetup.com. Start a $1 trial to see the thing that we talk about actively on this podcast every single day. Go to themorningmeetup.com. Start your $1 trial. If you like it, you can stay. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's all good. But at least you'll experience how amazing this community is, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com. Patty.
Yes. So you are a person who wants to develop your coaching or consulting business from scratch.
Well, ask them, do they want to do it actively or passively?
You want to do both. You understand that in the beginning, it requires active income skills, okay? And then we can turn it into and develop it into some passive income strategies. But you're there, you have some information, you want to teach it to someone, you want to consult, you want to coach. This episode is also sponsored by Six Figure EDU. Six Figure EDU is my company where I develop and train coaches and consultants from scratch. I teach you the difference between active income strategies and passive income strategies, as you've seen demonstrated here. Additionally, I have helped dozens of coaches and consultants earn 6+ figures from within that one program alone. That's not just from people that I've coached on a one-on-one level. So you can get more information for that by going to sixfigureedu.com. That's the word 6, S-I-X, figureedu.com. And I got something for the entrepreneurs who are like, I got a solid model. I don't know how to communicate with my audience on social media. No matter what I post, it's not converting. It's not connecting. Nobody's engaging. Solution in place for that. This is not currently passive income. This is still active because I literally create 3 text message post prompts to send to your phone every single day with a post that suggests exactly what you should be posting at that time in your business model to help connect, create income for you, and engage with your audience. Soon, we will have so many posts built up that I'll be able to just sell that offer and it'll become a passive income stream. But right now, if you want to be a part of that active income stream model to create active income for your brand, all you have to do is text the words post to paid to 404-737-2767. And you just might want to be connected to me anyway. You don't know what you need. You want the business gems. Just text me, 404-737-2767. And I know he's going to come back and try to share his text message number because he forgot. Go ahead, Dave. You have my permission. Copy the right cap.
It's 404-737-4935. Text me. 404-737-4935 for all the releases and all kind of cool stuff.
This was
really good. That was it. Are you done? What are you waving at?
I'm saying goodbye.
You are talented, but the biggest problem you have is you do not have a community. If you take your talents and put it in the right community, it will grow. It's like You have a really special seed. If you put it in the right environment, the right soil, it grows. When it's in the wrong soil, it just doesn't grow. You are a very special seed, but you're just in the wrong soil. You're around the wrong people. Do you know at the morning meetup, themorningmeetup.com, there's 500 to 700 entrepreneurs that gather every single day. The ground is fertile. I'm teaching entrepreneurship from very basic, practical steps on how to grow your business. Inside the morning meetup, we've had multiple people. I've helped dozens of people quit their job. First off, I'm the best coach in the world. So I want you to join the community. Not for me, though, even though I'm going to give you some really good information. I want you to be around this environment of other people that are winning, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com and just do the $1 trial. If you like it, you can stay. It's only $79 a month. I just want you to taste test it. But if you do taste test it, you're like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like David. I don't like the way he looks. It's too early in the morning. It's actually 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can just leave. No obligation. It's all good. Nobody's going to chase you down, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com. This is exactly what you've been looking for.